Hello, and welcome to the weekly energy update for the week of January 25th, 2026. I'm Renee Spears, a spirit guide channeler and spiritual mentor, and I'm coming to you from snowy, cold, and beautiful Bozeman, Montana. Every Sunday, I share the energy for the week ahead, and I also infuse the show with some positive vibes, so you get a little positive energy boost just for listening. Now, this week, something huge is happening in the sky. Neptune is moving into Aries tomorrow on Monday the 26th. Now, we've been talking about this shift for months. And since Neptune is a super slow moving planet, we felt this energy building over the past few weeks too. The last time Neptune was in Aries was in the 1860s. So this is new energy for everybody living today. We've been through hundreds of Mercury retrogrades, and Venus and Mars changing signs is also pretty common. We're familiar with that energy. But this is something completely new. So to understand what this transit means, it's important that we understand the energy of Neptune. And we can think of Neptune as the higher octave of Venus, which basically means that Neptune's energy is like Venus on steroids. Venus is love, beauty, pleasure, money, and relationships in real life. So Neptune takes those same Venus themes and turns the volume way up. Instead of romantic love, Venus is about universal love. Instead of beauty you can see, Neptune is about beauty you feel. Venus wants harmony and pleasure. Neptune wants transcendence. So it's that deep, dreamy, lovely, mystical planet that rules our intuition, our imagination, spirituality, dreams, and the collective unconscious. Neptune is also about dissolving rules and boundaries and is a very spiritual energy that helps us go deep and feel our connection to the universe, to everything and everyone. It's like my kind of planet. Aries, on the other hand, is about new beginnings. It's fiery and it wants us to take charge of our lives. It doesn't want us to be afraid. It wants us to be the warrior and the champion of our own story. So the Neptune-Aries combo is so interesting because these energies are almost opposite. Neptune is slow and dreamy and mystical, and Aries is bold and courageous and about taking action. It's the first sign of the zodiac, and its energy says, let's do this. When you put Neptune in Aries, you get something very rare, a kind of spiritual action. The universe is asking us to be brave with our dreams, to stop just imagining what we want and start living it, even when we can't see the whole path or how it all works out. And that's a huge shift from where we've been the last decade of Neptune and Pisces, when we felt a little foggy and unfocused. So we won't get an intense burst of clarity right away because Neptune moves so slowly. It takes years to transit a sign. But we are definitely moving into a new spiritual energy that helps us trust and follow our intuition and stand up for what we believe in. On a personal level, what the shift feels like is waking up from a long spiritual inner journey and saying, okay, now I'm ready to do something with this insight. After the last 15 years when Neptune was in Pisces, we've been internally shifting and learning. Now it's time to put that knowledge into action. And then thanks to Aries, we are confident and brave enough to do that. So it will feel like a spark has finally been lit, which is on brand with Neptune and Aries' role in history. The last time Neptune was in Aries was in the 1860s and 70s, smack in the middle of the Civil War. Clearly a time of upheaval when we were reinventing and reimagining our identity, like who we were and who we wanted to be for our country and for ourselves. Also right now, Pluto is in Aquarius. The last time it was there was in the 1780s and 90s, just as the American Revolution was unfolding. That was the time we had the drafting and ratification of the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. It was a time when old power structures were transformed and we had new forms of government and society. And then also coming up in July, Uranus will move into Gemini. The last time it was there was in the 1940s during World War II, and the time before that was the Civil War. So right now, you're probably thinking, oh shit, Renee, great. I thought this podcast was supposed to be a little uplifting. And I get it. Neptune moving into Aries can sound intense, but it doesn't have to be scary. Think of it more like the spark we need to finally get unstuck and move on to something better. And astrology doesn't cause events. It just reflects the energy we're already living in. It shows us the themes, not the outcome. This is an important time because it's a collective wake-up call for change. And yes, this change may be coming from rage and poor leadership and watching people suffer. That's the shadow side of this energy. But on a higher level, Neptune in Aries is about a new beginning. When we refuse to stay asleep, this is a collective reset, a spiritual awakening. Neptune in Aries ignites the archetype of the warrior. We feel alive and want to live out our dreams, and we will fight for the truth. We realize we're tired of this shit, and whether that's in our personal lives or our country, and we're not going to take it anymore. So with all of this big, fiery, transformational energy swirling around us, the question is, how do we stay grounded and balanced? And the answer is to slow down and add some simple grounding rituals into your day. That could be lighting a candle, taking a few deep breaths, journaling, going for a walk, putting your phone down, or even simply placing your hand on your heart and reminding yourself, I'm safe. I can meet this moment. Neptune in Aries is asking us to be brave, but not reckless. Courage right now looks like staying present, choosing love over fear, and trusting yourself enough to take the next small aligned step. Not the whole plan, just the next step. We're not here to panic. We're here to awaken, to remember who we are, to live awake, connected, and intentional, even in uncertain times, like especially in uncertain times. So take a breath, trust your inner guidance. This is the beginning of something new, and we don't have to rush it. Just stay awake and choose love and peace over and over again. So my intention for this year is to deepen my spirituality. And that sounds good, but what does that really even mean? Like, how do you actually do that? So I reviewed everything that I've studied and read and practiced over the years and put together what helps me not only stay present and connected, but to live in the magic of life. This is a time of spiritual awakening. We're not just hanging on until all this shit is over. No, we're using it to awaken, to feel more connected to spirit. Like I wake up every day wondering where the magic will show up today, even with everything happening around us. So I put all of the spiritual knowledge together in a class called Living in Magic and Serendipity, which is about spiritual mastery for everyday life. It's the nuts and bolts of living a deeply spiritual life. Like, how do you make the voice in your head your best friend? How do you communicate and get guidance from your spirit team? And then also how to live in alignment without fear and anxiety. So it costs $222. It starts on February 4th and meets every other Wednesday for the next 2 months. So there's a link in the show notes to learn more and register. And whether you sign up for the class or not, it's important that you get your energy straight right now. For yourself, so you feel empowered and not a victim during this time. And for the rest of us, like, we need you. We're all in this together. So thank you for listening and passing the podcast on to your friends. I feel like I'm having a very American day today with a trip to Costco and then watching football. So go slow this week, take breaks, breathe, go for walks, stay calm. And I'll be back next Sunday to talk about the full moon and the February numerology.